here, Baltimore itself, right? Baltimore is a different type of place. It's a different type of place. As the weather has warmed up, of course, we've talked about it over the years. When the weather warms up here in the city, it could tend to get it could tend to it turns up. People turn up, right? There was a very chaotic scene at Baltimore's Inner Harbor that led to the shooting. Two teens shot, multiple arrests. Easter in Baltimore, historically, downtown in the Inner Harbor area has always been dicey. I remember when the Horsemen and I, one of the groups that I managed and produced here, when we used to hang out, we used to do parties in downtown, the Tunnel, the Break Room, Hammer Jacks, and with Kenny B, Frank Ski, DJ Booby, et cetera, right? But so during the daytime on Easter, there would be Easter egg, parties for the little kids. Then they would have the parties for what we used to call the 17 and over crowd. And that crowd was never 17. They were older than 17, but for whatever reason, we called them 17 and over crowd, right? I mean, these would be people anywhere from 18 to, I don't know, 30, maybe older. But it's just letting you know that the generation is going to be, the music is going to be played as a younger style of music, right? Anyway, we would do Easter parties, day parties for kids. And then we would stay downtown because there's no need to leave and then come back when we got to be there in the evening for the party for the young adults. And some of the things that I've seen happen in downtown Baltimore during Easter time has always been, it's always, you got to be with people, guys. Anything can go down. Even before I became a DJ, when I was a teenager, you didn't hang downtown during Easter by yourself. You just didn't, or one or two people, one or two guys. It was usually the recipe for disaster. Baltimore's a rough city. It's a rough city. But back in the day that I'm talking about, the worst thing that would happen, I mean, it would be a fight here, a fight there. Maybe some people got jumped. And those were bad things. But the shooting and the level of violence has escalated critically. They used to have this thing where people used to, and if you're of a certain age, you know this. In Baltimore, they used to drive around. We used to drive around. It would be traffic for blocks and blocks and blocks. People just driving around, playing music, hopping out the car, dancing, all kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing that used to happen. The club let out used to be just as much fun as it was inside the club. Sometimes the let out was better than the club, right? And the city of Baltimore, the government officials enacted what they call a no cruising law. So they stopped allowing people to, keep driving around the block and driving around the block. And if you pass an area more than twice, there was a citation, and they broke up that kind of stuff. But Easter is one of those holidays where people just come out in Baltimore and they go downtown. That's one of the main places that they go. But it has gotten to the point that the mayor, Brandon Scott, is planning to enforce a new curfew for young people. He's going to bring back a new curfew, right? And so this is, if you have a club that was geared towards young people, this wouldn't be good. But some people look at this as being positive. The kids, you got kids from East, you got kids from West, right? And so the mayor is saying that it's not just kids from East and West Baltimore. He's talking about people that are from Owens Mills, Woodlawn, everywhere, converging on the area. Now, they're trying to do their best, according to the mayor, to keep the kids safe. Mayor talked about when he was a city councilman that he updated the curfew ordinance, which says that children under the age of 14 must be inside by 9 p.m., while teenagers ages 14 to 16 must be inside by 10 p.m. on school nights and 11 p.m. on non-school nights. So starting Memorial Day, the city will once again open the youth connection centers. Because here's the thing. People always say the kids don't have nothing to do. And that might be true. That might be true. So you find something to do. I mean, whose job is it to find something for your kid to do? Is it my job? Is it my job as the head of ONFIRE-TV? Is it my job to find something for your kid to do? Is it the mayor's job? Is it Brandon Scott's job to find something for your kid to do? I said your kid, right? Your kid. No. You find something for your kid to do. This is a team effort, right? It's everybody else's responsibility. No. We all have to take control and take responsibility for what we're responsible for. So I do want the mayor to understand this, of course. A curfew alone is not going to solve the problem of violence. We're entering into the spring. We're in the spring right now. Summer months are coming. Don't think that this curfew is going to solve all the problems. And I don't think that he thinks that. I'm just saying the curfew alone is not going to solve the problem. It is one of the tools to keep young people safe if family members help enforce it. But clearly, unsupervised youths is a problem. So they're going to have these youth centers, and that's going to offer young people and their families some wraparound services. Hopefully, folks will accept these services. Now, but, things are going to get to a point where things get turned over to the court and the court decides what happens. You don't want to do that. Please, folks, stay involved. I understand people got to work. That's not an excuse to not do your job with your kids, right? Your first job is to your kids. And going to work is helping them, but they do not need to be unsupervised. You can't just throw up your hands, I was at work, and you don't take any responsibility for your kids' actions. Now, the mayor has not announced the date that the curfew will go into effect. But I think that there has long since been an unwritten rule that, you remember the TV show? It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? It came on it was like a little teaser that they would have before the news started. All right, it's 11 o'clock. Your kid should be in the house. Summertime. Can't just let your kids stay out all the time. Now, it's not going to solve all problems, but it is a move in the right direction. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, ONFIRE-TV.com. Music submissions, booking, or any business info, contact me, djdiamondk@gmail.com. So do that. Take a quick break. And I want to come back and I want to talk about Angel Reese, right? My girl, Maryland's own, doing her thing, putting it down. A lot of folks got a lot of things to say about this young lady, and she's outspoken. She's going to tell you how she feels, and we're going to talk about that when we come back with more of the show after this.